everyone. Welcome again to Tile Spain's Meet the Makers. Today with Ceracasa, and we're talking to Alfonso Beltran. Alfonso, thank you very much for joining us today. Nice to see you. Thank you,
Ryan. Thank you for having us and giving us the opportunity to talk here.
My pleasure. That looks like a beautiful mural from your Emotile line in behind you.
More or less. It's a development of the Emotile.
That's fantastic. So is that a commercialized product or
yes,
or is that
yes.
Oh, it is. That's very cool. I love those super graphics. You guys do them better than I think anyone else because of that custom Emotile line.
Thanks. Yes, that's where it came from, to be honest.
Okay.
It's like a development, like a commercialized development of Emotile kind of.
And tell me a little bit about Emotile, because I know about it, but I'm sure there's lots of people that don't. So it's a pretty cool thing that's fairly unique to Ceracasa.
Emotile is just custom, 100% custom product. It's just from a picture or from a file that a designer can create, we can just print anything into tile and create a unique piece.
And generally, it's like super graphics like that transpose from tile to tile, and it's a multiple mural piece that can be, you know, as small as a backsplash or as big as the side of a building. I've seen.
Yes, it can be anything. Again, it's just to the imagination of the interior designer or the end customer. Just do the work that they like.
Yeah, no, it's very cool. I'm sorry. I had to comment on the background, and I know that it's something that is unique to Ceracasa because a lot of manufacturers don't necessarily encourage custom work because of the larger runs that happen in tile. And I know that that's a specialty of yours, so I had to call out about it.
Yeah, we'll talk about this because again, it's a new concept that you're gonna learn, Ryan. It's couture. It's couture
cool.
collection. It's not, I mean, we still do Emotile, which is 100% custom, but we're doing couture, which is pre-designed and always in stock products, obviously at more reasonable price.
That's very cool.
It's kind of a unique touch to it.
And you're leaning in pretty heavily to the biophilia trend with that vegetation print in the back. So good on you. I think that's fantastic.
Thanks, Ryan. You always appreciated our work.
No, you got that right. So one thing I wanted to start with is something that's top of mind for pretty much everybody as we're talking about, you know, architectural design and interior spaces. A lot of us have been trapped inside our interiors for a lot of the past 2 years. And, you know, it's really forced an awareness shift for clients today, the end users that all of us are working for. And that, you know, we were talking about with your background, the shift to biophilia. And obviously you're embracing it in a pretty big way with your couture line. So maybe talk a little bit more about how your company is embracing biophilia in the colors and the trends and novelties that you're presenting this year.
We, in fact, this was launched, I'm going to say Ceracasa 2019.
Oh, wow. Okay.
We did it kind of not like you were saying, literal or peripheral approach. At that time, it was a peripheral approach. 8 different designs, some concepts. By Ceracasa 2020, we have launched 25 different ones. Wow. Biophilia with obviously flora, but also fauna, monkeys, peacocks, different things. And it was the hit of the show for us. But obviously it was Ceracasa 2020, last show on Earth for a while. But even with that, you know, we found ways of showing it, displaying it, customers that have gone for it, and it's a trend that's coming. We kind of foresaw it a little bit. Don't mind saying it because it was there by 2019, and we've been developing more designs and bringing more sheets like this, more animals into the whole portfolio of the couture collection. Not only flora and fauna, but like you're saying, colors, pinks, pinks introduced with, let me show you, I mean, it's a small piece, but obviously pinks.
Oh, wow.
Mixed with greens and blues, geometrical designs, pastel colors like this.
So they're all very artistic and graphic inspired.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen a big rise in like vinyl graphic and even traditional wallpapers coming back in a big way to give that sort of graphic punch to a lot of wall spaces. It makes a lot of sense to do it in a ceramic porcelain body now with bathrooms spilling out into the master bedrooms and a lot more wet spaces and a lot more flex spaces. Again, as we've been trapped inside, we start to demand a lot more of our environment. So, the high durability and easy livability of tile makes a lot of sense for consumers today.
Yeah, that's also the idea. I mean, we're trying to get tiles away of where tiles are usually installed.
Yeah.
if it makes sense.
For sure.
We've seen tiles in kitchen and bathrooms forever with this kind of graphics. You can move away of those areas, bring it to the living room. Even it's porcelain, so you can use it outside. We've seen many pool areas with a nice background with a shower that it's outside. It's like a urban jungle trend also. Mm-hmm. So it's very popular. It's very popular.
Yeah, I bet you this speaks really well to the hospitality design crowd and things like patio bars and exterior expanses for guests to use and things like that, and getting that high performance in porcelain and still getting that graphic punch that you like from wallpaper is kind of a big deal for designers.
We hope. We can't just hope, man. I
mean, for sure. We've been talking a lot of graphic and color and things like that, and we've seen actually in the past couple of years, started in I think about 2019, there was a really big boom in color. We saw a lot of blues and greens, and as you say, pinks even, which we've been pretty much allergic to here in North America for a very long time. But these colors are coming. They're coming in a big way in tile these days. Since 2019, how have you seen that trend kind of morph in Ceracasa's offering, and what kind of colors are you embracing and seeing success with?
Blues, a big thing. I think was the best color of the year last year. Mm-hmm. We launched a couple of collections with blue marble blues, an Eramosa stone from your country, from Canada. Mm. Call it Madison. It has that blue also very, very strong, a lot of personality. And it's like we were saying before, we see tiles more of a fashion thing nowadays, like trendy. And even if they last forever, it doesn't mean you can change it every couple of years or 3 years. That's the idea. I mean, it's a trend. It's not a classic that's gonna last forever, but it's definitely a trend that everyone is willing to have it and try it. In 2 years from now, we'll see there'll be a different trend.
Right, of course.
Right.
Now, are you seeing like really saturated tones being the ones that are doing the best for you, or more washed out and subtle, kind of almost off neutrals? Like, how are the colors working in Ceracasa's program?
In terms of not just the fancy, decorative, trendy tiles, we've seen a move back to a little bit more of browns, not the regular beige, but a taupe color thing.
Yep.
Terracottas coming back a little bit. We were huge in terracottas in Cotos with red body about 20 years ago, and we've seen this year that coming, not last year, this year coming back a little bit, but obviously with new technologies. It's an improved Coto collection that also carries grays that are still big. Light grays, dark grays are still 80% of it, but not 100.
No, for sure. I mean, that's one thing this year that I've noticed in like last year, it started to just kind of peak in that we were seeing, you know, the neutral tones shift a little bit from gray to a little bit more browns and warm earth tones. Obviously Coto, it's something, you know, that's very, because of the color of the soil in Spain, it's been part of the Spanish tile industry for the history of the Spanish industry.
Yeah.
So having Coto come back is obviously a very, very good thing for Spanish companies because you've been doing it forever. So how are you, like, what are you doing to harness that trend of earth tones and bring it into the 21st century in a new way?
We're mixing new technologies that we didn't use in the past. It used to be, you've seen many factories in the past with the rotocolor and just an image that we printed. Maybe some factories 2, 3, 4. That was it. Nowadays, we are able to print with at least 14 square meters difference on terms of design to implement textures that we didn't have before, to implement a little bit of shine on it that we weren't able to do before. So it's all those things.
So 140 square meters, 14 square meters is 140 square feet of unique graphics of terracotta, and adding glossy inks is giving you the effect of what kind of the wax finish of a classic terracotta in places, and doing that all in glaze and something that's going to be the same, you know, 20 years from now as it was when you installed is a pretty powerful thing to bring a modern style of an earth tone to design.
Like you mentioned, I mean, it's been in our history forever, and those are classics that eventually will come back, and it seems that are coming back, like marbles. We've always been there, marbles. Terracotta is not the same thing because it's more outside, but it's coming back.
No, and that's one of the amazing things about digital design is if you have the references nearby, like you do in Spain, with all the beautiful old buildings and that have all the gorgeous old terracotta that's developed this patina, you can take pictures and then use them for inspiration for your graphics files, and then you've got 140 square feet of this unbelievable period-centric, authentic terracotta that you have to draw from. I mean, it's an exciting time to be developing tile, I think, because so much of the tendencies are leaning into what's you're surrounded with all the time.
Yeah, and so that, like, with the whole pandemic, there have been bad things, but also good things. I think it has given us a little bit more of time to think about new collections, new developments. We haven't stopped doing new things, but we didn't have the pressure of showing all of them in Ceracasa, then coverings, then Ceracasa. Then it's a process that you can never stop and get away from it. So to have time and sit back, think, at that point, I think it's made us good things also. We hope in 2021 is gone almost. And then we'll move forward 2022 with a lot of power, energy in Ceracasa, and see how it goes.
Well, I mean, with the developments that you've done and the investment in technology and the time for for your designs to mature and really come around to a full completed thought, it's recognizable. Like we're seeing some extremely exciting collections that are very unique thoughts come out this year, and it's clear that people have taken advantage of the extra time we've had on our hands.
I mean, we were locked down for 3 months, so
right. Well, Alfonso, I am very excited to see what you and the team at Ceracasa come out with this year. And if what's sitting behind you in that beautiful mural is any guide, I think that that the skies are bright for you and Ceracasa and Tilo Spain next year.
Thank you, Ryan.